What's up, YouTube? Tim Movies here. Now, here is my opening slash streaming segment. We'll talk about the films that turns 10, 20, and 30 this week. Alright, the film celebrating its 10th anniversary, we got G.I. Joe Retaliation. Of course, the sequel to 2009 G.I. Joe. This one, of course, had like Channing Tatum in it, but it's still so weird that he was like heavy foot in the trailer and bit of a spoiler, but he dies literally halfway. I always found that to be very odd and everything. But of course, this G.I. Joe film was going to try to start a new franchise with like Dwayne Johnson coming in. You had Bruce Willis attached to this. But sadly, this one did not really go anywhere. I mean, I always thought like this, they will continue this franchise with maybe Dwayne Johnson returning, except we ended up having a Snake Eyes, which that was horrible. But G.I. Joe Retaliation, which was directed by John M. Chu, who also gave us stuff like Justin Bieber documentaries. He recently gave us the music of In the Heights. He has the special. It's really odd to see him direct something like this because he's well known as like the music-based director. But I don't think they did a really good job with this, so not a bad flick in my opinion. All right. Also turning 10, we got The Host. Now, The Host was directed by Andrew Niccol, and it's actually based on a book by Twilight author Stephanie Myers, and stars like Saoirse Ronan, Jake Abel, William Hurt, Diane Kruger. And it tells the story of like a young woman, Melanie, played by Saoirse Ronan, who is captured after like the human race has been like taken over by parasitic aliens called souls. And you know what? I don't mind the Twilight films. All right, I said that I don't really have a problem with the Twilight films or anything like that. But I would say The Host is a different story. This movie was god awful. I remember watching this one in theaters. I was like, okay, let's see what else like the after Twilight could do outside of the Twilight franchise. This was just Twilight with aliens, and not a good one at all. It is completely horrible. Definitely did not make any sense. I mean, thank God Saoirse Ronan, has been doing better projects since. But yeah, this was not that rare film. Now, speak of like another film that is just so great, we of course got Tyler Perry's Temptation Confessions of a Marriage Counselor, the classic Tyler Perry film. I mean, I don't mind Tyler Perry films. Like, I don't mind the Medea movies and everything, but not everything Tyler Perry has put out turns to gold, in my opinion. And that was the case with Temptation. Now, Temptation, for some reason, he decided to cast Kim Kardashian in this. Like, seriously? But whatever. And it also starred, Juicy Smollett's sister, Journey Smollett, Robbie Jones, Lance Gross, and it's about an ambitious married woman's temptation by a handsome billionaire leads to betrayal, reckless, and forever alters the course of her life. And holy cow, this movie is just. The Host is terrible, but this is just god awful, man. It's terrible. Like, Kim Kardashian, let's be for real, she can act her way out of a paper bag. And, I think Tyler Perry just cast her because obviously she is famous and everything. But, yeah, this is just, I mean, Journey Smollett, thank God she bounced back with stuff like Lovecraft Country, Birds of Prey, and stuff. So, yeah, but this is definitely not that good of a film. So, yeah. But one film that I think is maybe the better film on this list, that is The Place Beyond the Pines, directed by Derek Cinephron, who also directed Blue Valentine. He also put out that terrible Michael Fassbender film. What was it called? I forgot the name of it. Light Between the Oceans, I think was called. It was so boring, but Place Beyond the Pines, which of course had like Ryan Gosling, you had Bradley Cooper, Dana Hahn, Bruce Greenwood. You also had the late Ray Liotta, Rose Byrne was in this, Mahershala Ali. And the film tells like three linear stories where like Luke, a motorcycle stunt rider who supports his family through a life of crime, and Avery, played by Bradley Cooper, who's this ambitious policeman who confronts his corrupt police department, and two troubled teenagers played by Murray Cohen and Dana Hine, who like go to explore the aftermath of Luke and Every's action. I mean, also you had like Eva Mendes was great in this. This movie is like very intense. There is like a really good coming of age aspect with Dana Hine and Emery Cohen. I remember watching this one in theaters. I mean, I saw all four of them in theaters, but I remember seeing this one. And Place Beyond the Pines is literally one of the most underrated, appreciated movies in recent years. If you guys have not seen that film, do yourself a favor, go watch it. Bradley Cooper was great. Ryan Gosling was at his best. Really terrific film. All right, now the 20-year one. Oh boy, films turning is big 2-0 this week. We got the award-based film Ned Kelly. Of course, this is based on the iconic Robert Drew's novel Our Shine, and directed by Gregor Jordan, starring the likes of the late Heath Ledger, Jeffrey Rush, Naomi Watts, Orlando Bloom. And the film dramatizes the life of Ned Kelly, the legendary bush ranger and outlaw who was active mostly in Victoria and the colony of his birth here. And like I say, Heath Ledger was really great in this, but the film was just okay. It wasn't anything that you go by and everything. Naomi Watts was pretty decent in this. I mean, really okay film. Just I was not really big with it as most people were. All right, we also got the film Basic. Now, this was of course a Pulp Fiction reunion with Sam Jackson and John Travolta, and it was also directed by Jonathan McTiernan, who of course directed Die Hard. And it was the second collaboration of Travolta and Jackson following Pulp Fiction, and the story follows a DEA agent solving the mystery of a bungled training exercise that leads to the deaths of multiple Army Ranger cadets and their instructor. And I gotta say, basic, Pulp Fiction is obviously an iconic film. Like seeing Sam Jackson and John Travolta in that is always really cool to see. But Basic was just not. It's the name. It's a basic film. It's just not so great. I mean, Sam Jackson, John Travolta did it all, but yeah, this was not that great a film. All right. Also turning 20. Boy, we have some not so great films here. We of course got The Core, directed by John Amill and starred the likes of Aaron Eckhart, Hilary Swank, Delroy Lindo, the new guy himself, DJ Qualls. And the film focuses on a team whose mission is to drill the center of the Earth and set off a series of nuclear explosions in order to restart the rotation of the Earth's core. I remember watching this one when I was in middle school, and during science class, I'm like, really, this is something that could probably happen in real life. I don't know. I was just not a fan of it. The sci-fi elements and stuff sounds cool, but it just really felt like an Armageddon off at times. I was just not too big with it at all. So yeah. All right. Turning 20, we got Raising Victor Vargas, which was directed by Nick and Noy's Infinite Playlist director Pierre Solet. And the film follows Victor, who's this Lower East Side teenager, as he deals with his eccentric family, including his grandmother, his bright sister, and younger brother. And this is a really decent coming of age film, and the whole movie is a Hispanic centric cast. And you had Melanie Diaz was also in this. You also had Victor Rasak. Judy Marie was also in this. You had some really decent cast members. Really good little film if you guys ever seen it. All right, we also got the Chris Rock classic Head of State. Of course, this had the late great Bernie Mac in it, Nate Dogg, Tracy Morgan. And when a presidential candidate dies unexpectedly in the middle of a campaign, Washington, D.C. alderman Mace Gilman is unexpectedly picked up as his replacement. And this movie is really hilarious. I mean, of course, Chris Rock, playing like this person who becomes president, is someone you would not expect to be president at all. But man, Chris Rock is so great in this. Bernie Mac is great. You also had Lynn Whitfield was also in this. Dylan Baker. Keith David was also in this. Really good comedy. If you guys haven't seen it. All right, we also got the the blue collar comedy tour, which was like pretty much like on the original King of Comedies, but with rednecks. Uh, of course, this features live stand-up performances by iconic stars like Jeff Foxworthy, Bill Engvall, Ron White, as well as Larry the Cable Guy. And I gotta say, I've always liked this comedy special. I mean, I always found like Larry the Cable Guy, Bill Engvall, Jeff Foxworthy, some really funny guys here. Some of their stand-up routine is great. Maybe one of the best stand-up comedy films to come out in years. That and of course original King's comedies. So yeah. All right. Now, not many subjects you really talk about that turns dirty. Really, like we got the movie Born Yesterday, uh, which stars Melanie Griffith, John Goodman, Don Johnson, Sally Quinn, Fred Thompson, and it was a remake of the 1950 film that had Judy Holliday and William Holden in it. And it's like a wealthy but crude businessman, Harry Brock, on a trip to the nation's capital, is socially embarrassed by his ditzy, uncultured showgirl girlfriend Billy Darn. And that was actually an okay film. I mean, it's not anything to go by. We also have Hear No Evil, which stars Molly Matlin, Martin Sheen, John C. McGinley, D.B. Sweeney. And it's about a deaf woman who becomes the target of a ruthless and corrupt cop. Really fun little drill if you guys haven't seen it. I mean, Molly Matlin, of course, she was at the hype of winning her first ever Oscar there. And I thought she was really good in the film. And of course, she was great in Coda. Let's throw there. All right. And last but not least, we got Married to It, which is a 1991 film directed by Silver Streak director Arthur Hiller and stars Beau Bridges, Stocker Channing, Ron Silver, Robert Sean Leonard, Mary Stuart Masson, and Sybil Shepherd. The film, it's about like three New York City couples with desperate careers, ages, and lifestyles who nonetheless bond through their mutual and connection to a local private school here. And as they also help to stage a school pageant with with a 1960s theme, each couple begins to grow and rehearses their marriage here. And not a bad little film. I mean, of course, the cast member like Beau Bridges was great. Stockton Shane was terrific. Really decent little flick. But that's pretty much it there. Let me leave it to you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? The 10-year one, believe it or not, is actually going to be Blake's Beyond the Pines. The 20-year one, I'm actually going to go with Head of State. And I'm probably going to go with Hear No Evil for the 30th one. Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Him signing out.